All right, everybody, this is your unit rate video. We're going to start off by actually working a problem out here, and then we'll explain how this type of problem that I'm sure you can probably handle leads into what a unit rate actually is. So if we take a look here, it says Goofball made $96 mowing 12 lawns this summer. At this rate, how much money will he make mowing 7 more lawns? So he made $96 mowing 12 lawns, but really the key here is we don't really care about 12 lawns. Really what we care about is 1 lawn. So anytime you want to figure out 1 of something, that's really what unit rate is. It's how much 1 of something represents. Anytime you do that, you want to divide. Dividing by what you're talking about. So here we're talking about 12 lawns. If we divide by that number, it'll tell us 1 lawn. Divide by 12, it'll tell you how much 1 of those is. So if we divide this by 12, 96 divided by 12 is going to give us 8. So what does the 8 represent? 8 represents how much money he makes per lawn. So our unit rate here, this is actually a unit price because we're talking about money, $8 per lawn. Okay, so we did 96, we divided that by 12, giving us $8 per lawn. So the question says, at this rate, that rate, unit rate, and here it is for us, how much money will we make mowing 7 more lawns? So 7 more tells us 7 times 8, which is $56. He will make $56 more. So that's an introduction to unit rate. Now remember, the part that is the unit is how much for 1 lawn. That's the key here. Okay, so I'm highlighting this because this is the key. This is not the answer. This is the key. This is the unit rate, or if it's money, the unit price. Okay. So let's get a little more defined here. So a unit rate, a rate is a ratio of 2 separate quantities. Quantities can be amounts of things. So 2 separate things. So you talked about a ratio is comparing 2 things that are similar. People who are right-handed, people who are left-handed. People with blue eyes, people with brown eyes, that type of thing. Ratio, we're talking about 2 separate quantities, different units. So things like miles per hour, words per minute, dollars per lawn, like we just did, so on and so forth. I've highlighted WPM as words per minute. That would be a simpler way of showing that. So an example we have here is $12 for 4 2-liters of Pepsi. Those are at the bottom there. It's going to cost us $12. So here's our example. It says Evan went to the store, found that there was a sale on Pepsi. The sign said 12 for 4 2-liters, $12. So we don't really care how much 4 of those are. We care about how much 1 of those are. So what we're going to say is $12 divided by 4. Okay, or write it this way if you wish. 12 divided by 4 gives us 3. And when we talk about 3, we're saying $3 per 2-liter. Okay? I'm going to write it this way so we don't get confused. Notice that is unit price. Notice that liter is still capital L. So that tells us how much 1 of those is. So now we want to find unit rate. Unit rate, let me get this stuff out of the way. If you need to have that written down, go ahead and hit pause. Unit rate is the value of the ratio involved. So how much 1 of something is. So if you notice, if I use my laser, if this was easier. If you notice how much 1 of something is, we said $3 for 1. Okay, $3 for 1 of each one of these 2-liters. Okay. Anytime you see unit rate, it's telling you to divide. So we divided on the lawn mowing problem. We're dividing here on this Pepsi problem. So we said the unit rate is 3. Let's clear this out of the way so you can see it. Because 12 to 4, look at, I've written this in ratio form because it's a pretty easy problem. 12 to 4 simplifies to 3 to 1, or like we said, $3 per bottle. Up here I said $3 per 2-liter, $3 per bottle, whatever suits you. Either one works for me. $3 per bottle for the unit rate. And again, like you heard me say last time, this really is unit price because we talked about, we're talking about money. Remember, you can stop, go back, all that type of thing. Okay, unit price. So this is a picture I took from a store, grocery store, and we're talking about two different protein bars. It's the same protein bars. This one here has 10 bars in the pack. I don't know if you can see that there, and this one here has 5. Okay, so a good place to apply all this is unit rate, unit prices in the grocery store. Now, we all buy groceries, we all try to save money, and so on and so forth. If I look at these two things, this one has 5. Let me just list it here so it's easy to see. This one has 10, sorry. 10 bars and 5 bars. Everything else about them is the same. They're the same type, same kind, like peanut butter, dark chocolate, I think. And you can see the prices are different. Okay, so if I just took $3.79 and doubled it, would it be bigger or smaller than this? Well, that would require some math that maybe you can't always calculate in the grocery store. I guess we could punch that into our phones, whatever. But an easier, maybe the best thing that I use when I'm shopping is if you look in this little orange box. Now, different stores, the color could be different, but they always have the unit price down here. So you don't need to calculate two different sizes. There's 10 here and 5 here. I don't have to double one or cut this one in half. I don't have to do that. I can look here and see this is $8.89 per box, or per, in this case, I think it said per pound because it's not a full pound. And this is the $8.54. So if I look at these two, clearly the 5 protein bars is cheapest. Now, what if you might say to yourself, what if I need more than 5? It's still going to be more cost effective to buy this one. Good questions to be asking your parents when you're shopping with them because they understand. Okay, so there's my unit price arrows. I probably should have put them out there earlier. And one for you to try here. This says Muscle Boy lifts weights during 10th period. He burns 320 calories in 40 minutes. Well, we really don't care about calories in 40 minutes. We care about calories in 1 minute. So this math here should be pretty simple, I hope. We want to know how much for 1 minute, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take 320. We're going to divide it by 40, and that's where your 8 comes from. And notice how we label it. We label it in calories per minute. Calories per minute. Now, if we talked about per class period, we could just use this. We could say he burns 320 calories per period. That would also be okay for unit rate, but here we're talking about minutes. Okay. This question says, how many calories does he burn in 60 minutes? Well, if we use this per period, that doesn't help us out here. We know it's 8 calories in 1 minute, right? So now if it's 60 minutes, it's really not that big of a deal. We can simply say 60 times 8. 6 times 8 is 48. Bring our 0 along. We're talking about 480 calories. Let's go back so we don't totally screw you up here. Remember, you can go back, you can rewind, you can watch them again if you wish. So lastly, I would like you to work on this one on your own, and we will go over this one in class.